Good morning. It is a new day. It is a beautiful day. It is a beautiful day. It is a blessed day. So I want to say good morning to you. Welcome to you on behalf of Purpose Journey Counseling. Today is Thursday. So it is Friday Eve. Today is Thursday slash Friday Eve. Today is Thursday, November the 3rd, 2022. So I want to greet you on behalf of Purpose Journey Counseling. Thank you so much for joining us, whether you're watching us live at 7 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, or if you catch us later in the day, later in the week, later in the month, later in the year. We want to say greetings to you this morning and welcome. My name is Dr. Natatu North, and I am the owner and therapist of Purpose Journey Counseling, LLC, which is located in Cincinnati, Ohio. So, again, greetings and welcome to you. We are live. We are live on Facebook, YouTube, and Twitter. And the YouTube link for this broadcast will be posted on Instagram. So we're live, but again, whether you're catching us later, that's okay. But these are the social media platforms that you can find the videos on. So we ask that you please like the broadcast, like the pages. Please follow us on the different social media platforms, whichever you choose. But as always, even if you watch us on Facebook, let's just use as an example, because most people do, it's Facebook. Please subscribe to our YouTube channel, which is Purpose Journey Counseling. So if you could do that, that'd be greatly appreciated. Even if you never watch us on YouTube, it's all good. But we would just greatly appreciate it if you would do that. And also, please share this video, any other video you catch us with or catch on our pages. Please share. And then also let's interact and engage in the comment section. It's just lovely to be able to do that. So it's greatly appreciated. So just want to say thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you for doing that in advance. So again, like I said, today is Friday Eve or Thursday. So today, Thursday thoughts. So there's just been something that's just kind of been there in my mind. It's been sitting there for a while, but I just said, no, not really fleshed that out yet. But today is the day. So I want to share this with you for our thought for this morning. And the thought is lift your voice. Whoo, yes, I started thinking about lift your voice and sing. I started thinking about that, but God just kind of planted that in my spirit. And I said, okay, God, what is this about? We're not about to sing the song. Okay, we're not about to sing the song. But I'd ask, I said, what is this about? And it's just what it says, lift your voice. It's about using your voice. It's about speaking those things that need to be said. A lot of times, we just let things go. A lot of times there are words that need to be uttered out of our mouths, but we don't say them for various reasons, under various circumstances. And it's not always something quote unquote negative. It's not to always check somebody, or it's not to always do that. Sometimes there's just things in our heart. There's things that we need to go ahead and tell somebody, hey, I've been thinking about you. Whatever it may be. There's things oftentimes that we're not speaking about, things that we're not saying, things that we're just kind of keeping to ourselves for various different reasons. But a lot of times in these situations, these things actually need to be said. Words have power, and the power of life and death is in the tongue. But sometimes there's someone we want to speak life to. There might be someone we want to encourage and we want to say something, but we back off. And there's a lot of different reasons why sometimes we end up not saying anything. Sometimes it's, shyness, timidity. Sometimes it's just being afraid to say what we want to say or what we feel like needs to be said. Sometimes people have told us to just be quiet. So we get into this mindset of, hey, I should just be quiet because nobody wants to hear what I have to say. And sometimes it could be we don't know how to say what needs to be said, and we get a little bit uncomfortable, so we choose to not say it, which could be in our best interest if we know we might tell someone off and we know we don't know a nice way of saying it. So sometimes it's better to at least go back, do some assessment before we say it. Doesn't necessarily mean it doesn't need to be said, but sometimes we have to assess. So I want to we have to pray and think before we speak. And this is something that my late father used to say to um, my siblings, but then also like friends that I had. He used to tell us this every time: pray and think before you speak, write, or do anything. Is really what he used to say. But I've taken that with me, and but sometimes I know personally I've taken that to the extreme. I pray and I think, and then I still don't say anything. I'm like, oh, okay, well maybe I can say this way, and I still don't say a word. We ought to pray and think before we speak, to actually give ourselves a chance to process what we're going to say before we say it. But it doesn't mean that it doesn't need to be said. It just means that there has to be some assessment. We need to be very mindful about what we are saying and how we are saying it. However, we don't want to stay just like contemplating about it, because again, like I said, sometimes these things really need to be said. And let's be real, a lot of conversations that we can have, should have, are uncomfortable. A lot of those things that need to just come out of us, it's uncomfortable because, especially like in work settings or in relationships with people we actually care about, it's very difficult to do that at times because we don't want to hurt anybody's feelings. We don't want to lose our jobs. We don't want to do different things to put us in a bad position with someone. However, that preparation part can help us attack that, to where we're actually still able to speak those things that need to be said. Sometimes what you don't want to have to say still needs to be said. Sometimes we've got to say, you know what, that wasn't okay. What you did or what was said, what was done or what was said, how that situation was handled was not good for me or wasn't good for someone else. Sometimes it's speaking up on our behalf. Sometimes it's speaking up on the behalf of someone else. So whichever role that falls in, a position that falls in, we need to be able to assess that. And I want to go ahead and speak to the concept of when you say something, people, oh, it's always something. Oh, you always got something to say. And they think that you're just angry and you're just bitter and you're the angry this or you're the angry that. I just want to speak to this. You're not the angry fill in the blank, whatever they call you, just because you don't agree with them. Just because you don't agree with them doesn't mean there's something wrong with you. Just because you don't agree with them doesn't mean you're angry. It doesn't mean you're bitter. It doesn't mean you're resentful. It doesn't mean you're hurtful. It doesn't mean that you're just super ultra sensitive. It means that you just don't agree with them. And that's okay. We're allowed to be to have disagreement, but it's about resolving those disagreements. And let's face it, sometimes people they want you to be quiet because they know your truth will negate their lies. It will disprove some of the things that they've been saying or some of the things that they've been pushing their agenda or, things like that. They would prefer that you're quiet because then when you start speaking, it shows like, wait a minute, nah, that's not what you said. And what you're saying starts to hold so much weight that it disproves some of the things that they're saying or what they're trying to push. But again, that does not mean that you don't speak. And it's hard to speak up sometimes. There's various reasons. I only gave a few examples of why sometimes we don't speak up, but it needs to happen. We have to be able to be assertive in our communication, not aggressive, definitely not passive aggressive. We don't want to be passive aggressive, and we don't want to be aggressive either. We need to learn how to be assertive. So you're speaking with that confidence. You're speaking with the boldness. We talked about praying and boldness yesterday. You're still speaking that way, not to disrespect or dishonor anyone. However, that doesn't mean that you don't have anything to say. And I just want to share this as this Thursday thought this morning, because I know this is hard. This could be very hard. Some of us say whatever's on our mind. We don't even care, no filter, straight, no chaser, as you would say it. That's just us. And some of us are the complete opposite, and then there's people in between. But there's got to be that balance, because the bottom line is we all have a voice. We all have things that, are in us that we can share with the world. And guess what? Someone needs to hear what you have to say. So I want to encourage somebody on this morning who maybe you kind of fit more on that other side of, I don't know if I should say something. I'm kind of timid. I'm kind of shy. I'm real reserved. It's really hard for me to be able to be open and speak those things. Maybe that's you. That's been me. But I'm telling you from experience, someone needs to hear what you have to say. Someone needs to hear it. So yes, you should pray before you say it, think about it before you say it, but at the same time, being direct and assertive is the best way to communicate those things. And I want to share this quote. I love this quote. Love it, love it, love it. It's not mine. It's from Maggie Kunn. Stand before the people you fear and speak your mind, even if your voice shakes. Have you ever opened up your mouth to say something and your voice is like because you're nervous, you're feeling uncomfortable, you're feeling uneasy, you're not really sure if you should, you're in that meeting and it's like, I want to raise my hand, or if you were on Zoom, I want to push that raise hand button, I want to say something so bad, not to attack someone, not to be malicious, but I really want to say something, but my voice is shaking, I feel uncomfortable, I feel uneasy, I feel like, oh my goodness, if I do this, is this going to destroy me? But I want to encourage you this morning. Get used to the sound of your voice, even if it's shaking. That's okay. Even if your voice is shaking a little bit, you're a little bit uncomfortable in that moment, in that space. The more you speak, the more comfortable you get in speaking, because you start to understand. You understand what you're saying, but you also start to recognize and you start to be comfortable with your own voice, even if it's shaking, even if I'm not so sure about this, you start to get more comfortable and you utilize that voice for positive things. You utilize that voice to encourage. You utilize that voice to inspire, not to talk just to be talking. We all know people who talk because they really do love the sound of their own voice and they just talk. But you use it to be purposeful. You use it to be helpful. You use it to actually do ministry and to serve other people. But I just want to encourage you this morning our Thursday thought is to lift your voice. Sometimes it starts off as a whisper and it's really quiet and not a lot of people can hear you. And then as the more you start to speak, you start to get used to it. And then it just starts to lift and it starts to raise. And the next thing you know, you're speaking to all kinds of people, not realizing, you're operating in all kinds of things and giftings are revealed and you start doing all these things for God because you've lifted up your voice. So lift up your voice today, whatever the situation may be. Yes, we're going to pray. Pray first. Pray and think before you start to speak. Sometimes what you don't want to have to say still needs to be said. You're not the angry fill in the blank just because you don't agree with them. I got to go back over these points. Sometimes they want you to be quiet because they know your truth will negate their lies, or the truth, maybe not even your truth, the truth. Someone needs to hear what you have to say. So stand before the people you fear and speak your mind, even if your voice shakes. That was Maggie Kunn, not Dr. Natatu. That's Maggie Kunn. So that's our Thursday thought for this morning. So that just encouraged me, definitely inspired me on today. So I pray that it was a blessing to you as well. So again, we got to put it out there. Invite. Hashtag from a Christian. Hashtag from a therapist with Dr. Natatu. Episode 6. Black Women in Mental Health is Sunday. That is 3 days away. 72 hours. I am ready for this panel discussion. There's some awesome Black women. They're all therapists. They're all in mental health. They have different journeys. They have different backgrounds, but we're all coming together. Yes, Black women can come together. Black women come together to support each other, to speak about mental health, to speak about some other things. Not going there. I'm not telling you today. Join us 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. We're going to be live, Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, and the link will be on Instagram. We're going to be live on Sunday evening. You don't want to miss it. You want to be there. You want to invite not just your Black friends, not just your Black female friends. Invite everybody. Just invite them. It's going to be awesome. Definitely going to be awesome. So I'm really, really, really looking forward to that. So as a tag for Purpose Journey Counseling, I always want to encourage you to be loving, be kind, be compassionate, and be intentional towards others as well as towards yourself. Even in your speaking today, let's be loving in our speech. Let's be kind. Let's be compassionate, and let's be intentional. But we still lifting up those voices today. We're lifting up our voices today, even if they shake. We lifting up our voices today. So as always, I want to say thank you so much for joining us. We appreciate you. We appreciate you sharing, liking, commenting, all of these different things. Lord willing, we will see you tomorrow. Tomorrow will be Friday. Bless the name of the Lord. Tomorrow will be Friday. But Lord willing, we'll see you tomorrow for Friday Fun. We'll be live, Lord willing, at 7 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. Just want to go back and put up that again. Lift up your voice today. Lift it up. Even if it shakes, even if it quivers, even if you're unsure. Pray first, but lift up your voice today. I just want to encourage you. You have one. And guess what? Someone needs to hear what you have to say. In Jesus' name, have a wonderful, blessed, awesome, terrific, magnificent, all of those words. Have an awesome day, and blessings and love.